Masaki shows that she can be a badass in this week's Bleach chapter 532, Everything But the Rain 5. So it starts out with Aizen explaining the cloak he and the others are using, and as a lot of us guessed, he stole the concept from Urahara. Meanwhile, Ishin is back on his feet after Aizen's slash, but he's aware that some Shinigami troll was the one who hit him. But Aizen ain't scared as he plans to head down because he thinks the sample should be deemed a failure if it can't stand up to a Shikai. Then Tozen gets all offended and says to call it white due to the fact that it's the first one they created based on the soul of a Shinigami. Aizen finds it lolsy that they're judging him on his inner whiteness, even though he's covered in black armor. So this thing is black on the outside, but white on the inside. So why not just call him Wayne Brady? The rest of the chapter really consists of Ishin fighting the Hollow, and it's times like this that I really wish the anime was still around. While he says he can't use his Bankai because of his injury, he does some other cool shit, like, oh, I don't know, breathing fire. Masaki arrives as the Hollow's arm hits the ground after Ishin cut it off, but even one-handed the Hollow still overpowers him, and just as he's about to be obliterated by a Sero, Masaki makes contact with her arrows. Aizen seems very intrigued by her appearance. Holy shit, that is creepy. You know what they say, every time Aizen gets excited, a puppy dies. The Hollow goes after Masaki, who can't land a hit on him. As it approaches, she purposely lets it bite her as she grabs it by the head and delivers the final close-range hit. Boom! Headshot! I really enjoyed this chapter. The fight between Ishin and the Hollow was great, and I was glad Aizen didn't interfere this time. I thought the opening dialogue between Tozen and Aizen was very interesting, as we got a little bit of an explanation as to what the thing is. It is an experiment, but it's one that consisted of basing it off a Shinigami's soul. But what the hell did they do to that soul? Did they put it in a Vasto Lorde? Or did they just mutate the hell out of it? Hopefully there's more explanation on this Hollow's origin before the flashback ends. But yeah, Ishin was great. Despite not being able to perform Bankai, he was able to take off the Hollow's arm and spit fire at it. So it kind of sucks now that the Hollow's probably dead, but it still gave an excellent fight. And Masaki was awesome this chapter. She did not back down from that Hollow, even allowing it to take a bite out of her just so she could finish it off with a headshot. But now that it bit her, I think this is where the theory that the power slash soul can be passed on comes into play. I'm almost certain that the bite will transfer some of the powers of the Hollow into her because it obviously doesn't kill her. I think next week Aizen will want to go check out his Hollow and Masaki, but Ryukin will show up and possibly scare him and his crew away. Katagiri will probably heal Masaki, but then Masaki will go straight to Ishin. Only thing is we need to know how Ishin got to be almost out cold on the ground, stunned that Masaki killed the Hollow, because as Masaki hit the Hollow, Ishin was still standing, so he either collapsed like a bitch or he took another hit like a boss. So overall, awesome chapter. Ishin shows off some of his skills, there was some insight as to what the Hollow actually is, and Masaki killed that Hollow like a freaking champ. For my question of the week, do you think the Hollow passed on some of its power after biting Masaki? That's it for this week. Remember to leave your thoughts on the chapter and answer to my question in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the video and want to see more weekly Bleach chapter reviews. Also, if you feel like it, head on over to my Deviant Art or Twitter pages. Links to those in the description. Alright, I'll see you all next week for the possible conclusion to this fight in chapter 533. Peace.